House of Harkness, I'm sorry, Coven of Chaos, I'm sorry, The Dark Hold Diaries. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Agatha All Along dropped a brand new trailer that offered some insight into the plot, but I'm a little suspicious about when they dropped it.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Airy. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I drop a new vidcast and consider becoming a channel member. Okay, so Disney Plus and Marvel Studios have dropped the official trailer for the miniseries House of Harkness. I'm sorry, Coven of Chaos. Oh, I'm sorry, Dark World Diaries. Agatha All Along. Yes, I did the joke twice. Get over it. But it stars Catherine Ham. She's returning to portray Agatha Harkness, who, of course, was seen in WandaVision. She was the one who I guess, entered Wanda Maximoff's spell that she put on that town and then manipulated Wanda into doing even worse things. Make no mistake, Wanda was definitely the villain of that show. Agatha just kind of shows up to be more villainy, I guess. But anyway, I didn't need a spin-off of Agatha. I don't think anyone did. No one was asking for this show, and so I'm just curious, who is this being made for? I mean, why is Disney Plus, Marvel Studios, why are they pushing this so hard? No one asked for an Echo series. No one asked for a second season of What If, but still they're continuing to push the series, and they're doing this with Agatha All Along. So I watched the teaser trailer, and basically what it is, it shows this character who is just being called the kid or the teen, depending on which source you use, and he breaks Agatha Harkness out of the curse that Scarlet Witch put her under at the end of WandaVision. And whenever he tries to say his name, his lips flatten and they kind of swerve and he just says the name, and it shows them that they're going to gather this coven of other witches and they're going to walk along the witches road because they can have their powers fully restored. It shows some chaos happening, some scary images and whatnot. It was really nothing special, but at least unlike some of the other trailers that Marvel has released, we at least get an idea of the story. So teen breaks Agatha out of the curse that Wanda put her on, and then they're going on the witch's road to restore their powers, and they encounter horrible things along the way. Okay, pretty standard Disney fare. And this was my big complaint about Black Widow and Shang-Chi. They were decent films. I know it's popular on YouTube to just crap all over them, but I have to be honest, I didn't dislike them to the point where some people just have this vitriolic reaction when they say Black Widow and Shang-Chi. My problem with them was they didn't feel like Marvel movies, they felt like Disney movies. And the same can be said of the Ant-Man films as well. They didn't feel like Marvel, they felt like Disney. And that's how this one feels. Now, to be fair, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was a terrible film. I gave it a very poor review at my website, StudioJakeMedia.com, and it's such a shame too because I feel like the TV shows were off to a good start, but they got bogged down in all of this woke identity politics that no one cares about. Certainly this modern audience that Disney and Marvel is always chasing, they're not helping. And you can blame people like me all you want to, the mainstream critics or even the studios. They can blame guys like me. But the truth of the matter is, if they did have that modern audience would be giving those shows ratings, giving Disney Plus subscriptions, giving toy sales, right? But they're not doing it. They don't exist. I have a feeling Marvel is going to learn this again with Agatha All Along. Agatha was a perfectly fine antagonist for WandaVision. I like the character of Agatha Harkness. For one thing, it's one of the few witches that Marvel actually makes evil. I know Marvel and DC both, they like to teeter on, oh, is the occult really that bad? But Agatha Harkness is actually a very evil person. My first experience with her on screen was actually through X-Men Evolution. She was a recurring character. You saw her sort of mentor Scarlet Witch in that series as well. She was very plainly Magneto's daughter in X-Men Evolution, which she is in the comic books as well. Mystique gets a hold of her somehow and uses Agatha to manipulate the Scarlet Witch, but then Magneto uses Mastermind to kind of further manipulate her. So she ends up joining the Brotherhood of Mutants, or the Acolytes as they become later known in X-Men Evolution. All that to say, I like the character of Agatha, but not in this context. She didn't need her own show. Even if it's just a miniseries, I just don't think that it's going to make a lot of sense. And also, one of the weird things about this is they're releasing it in mid-September, September 18th to be specific. And I don't get that. Why not release this on Halloween? That would have made way more sense to me because it's a show, about witches. That would have been something you could have really promoted. Look, Disney Plus, we're releasing a show about heroic witches, which in real life there's no such thing, by the way. But they could have said, I would like to do this. This would have made better PR. But instead, they dropped the new teaser during Kamala Harris's fake live interview with Dana Bash on CNN, or at least the same day. I apologize. I didn't mean the same exact time. I just meant the same day. So CNN was kind of absorbing all of the social media talk because they were interviewing, the DNC candidate for the president and the current vice president with her vice presidential candidate, Tim Waltz, stolen valor Tim Waltz. Why do that, Disney? It makes no sense. Why not release it on the Friday after? Because then you can kind of piggyback it. And yeah, of course, the political shows are going to be talking about the Dana Bash interview with Kamala Harris. Obviously, that still would have given you kind of a cudgel because it would have gone into the weekend. Instead, they released it on the same day, and that makes no sense to me. I don't get Disney's strategy here. It's like they're trying to sabotage it, and maybe they are. Maybe they're going to try to memory hole this like they did with Willow, like they're trying to do with the Acolyte. I don't know, but just how they are handling the marketing and PR for this show and the release date kind of indicates to me that they want to get rid of it, that they want to pretend it doesn't exist. And like I said, that's just me speculating. I don't have any insider information. I haven't read anything about this as far as rumors or leaks. This is just me speculating as a marketing professional. I know I like to flex my marketing bona fides every once in a while. But just as a marketing specialist, if I had been advising Disney, I would have either done the weekend before some sort of political thing happening or the weekend after, which would have been very easy to do. And I would have advised them to make it a Halloween special because then you might have people kind of interested in it. It's kind of goes with that theme. But honestly, their PR for the show has been a disaster. Like I mentioned previously and joked about twice now, I won't do a third time. The show went through 4 titles. That's kind of silly. That's almost what destroyed the Birds of Prey movie, besides it just being a terrible movie, was they changed the name of the movie. Had this long, obnoxious name, Birds of Prey, and then all this long, obnoxious, and so they just changed it to Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. Now, later, Warner Brothers kind of backtracked and said, oh, no, no, we were just telling movie theaters that they could do that on their signs specifically. That's not the new name, but we all know it was the new name. All that to say, I just think that Marvel's strategy is interesting here, and I really hope. Now, this is a rumor that I've heard on multiple channels that Kevin Feige has learned his lesson. They've had too many flops. I mean, yeah, they had some success with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine, but everything else has flopped. Honestly, even on Disney Plus, WandaVision had a great start, but then it just kind of ended. It just kind of pittered out. And then they had Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, which I hear there's a darker cut of that got wrecked in the editing bay. That's certainly possible. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I heard. They had some success with Spider-Man: No Way Home. Actually, huge success with that movie. It was a fantastic film. Though with other Disney Plus shows like Hawkeye was kind of met with a broader audience. I've not watched it myself as of the recording of this, but I've heard it's actually a pretty good show. But then She-Hulk was a disaster, Echo was a disaster, and they've had a Falcon and Winter Soldier. People did tune into that, but they started to peter out as the show continued. And that was a show where it was theirs to lose and they lost. They grabbed defeat out of the jaws of victory with that show. With Agatha all along, it seems like the fumbling is continuing. It may just be that they just want to push this out and just get it over with so they can go in their new direction that Kevin Feige's been teasing, the rumors I've been hearing about. Wherever this goes, I do believe this is going to be another Disney disaster. It's not going to attract any new viewers to it. The people who are already on Disney Plus are going to keep watching the older stuff, and it's not going to attract any new subscribers, and no one is going to watch the show outside of a few curious onlookers or reviewers like myself. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, be sure to leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that little bell if you're watching on YouTube so you get notifications when a new vidcast goes live, and consider becoming a channel member where you get exclusive perks. If you don't want to support me on Big Tech, click on the link to my locals community. It's kind of like a Patreon or Subscribe Star where you can give me tips for articles that I post there, or you can become a monthly subscriber or purchase one of my novels. You can get them on Amazon. Just type in my name or the title of the book, and they should come up. You can get them, especially my new one, Blessed Child, which is available in hardback, paperback, or ebook editions. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.
Cause I've been living